Let me acknowledge my brother, colleague, and friend, and also compatriot in the just struggle, Mr. Dezil Amagbe, Kentebe, the Executive Secretary, brand new Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, and members of his entourage, the Chief of Staff, Principal, Executive Secretary, Deputy Chief, Special Advisors, members of your delegation certainly have said so. My rep in London office, the DFD, BDIC, and all members of our team, special advisor who is here, ladies and gentlemen of the press. First, I'd like to welcome you all to Government House on this occasion, on this costly visit. And let me use this opportunity to congratulate our brother and friend, a complete Nigerian, great Nigerian, but also a great German and a quintessential Bayelsan on your appointment. Very well deserved appointment. I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of the government and the good people of our state. Let me also use this opportunity to thank Mr. President on this, making this very wise and appropriate appointment. This is putting a round peg in a round hole. The MC just said, borrowing from Worry said, Worry, what if not the carry last? That are not the carry last. But let me say, in your own case, Bayelsans always take first. We have no doubt that you will do our nation proud. We have no doubt that you will do our state proud as well. I'd like to thank all members of your team, and in particular, let me pay tribute to your predecessor, the outgoing Executive Secretary, for his wonderful record of service while he was here, and the excellent relationship that he fostered with the state government. When I got the news of your appointment, and I think all of us in this state were very elated, well, we know you as someone who has the dedication to make a difference, particularly in this sort of responsibility that has been given to you that directly impacts on the welfare and well-being of our people. We know that that has been your passion, and so we're all excited, looking forward to working with you and members of your team to see how we can make a difference. There are three key areas that we look forward to collaborating and working with you and members of your team to achieve. The first is the area of capacity building. Capacity building, and you talked a little bit on that, building the capacity of our people, young people, as well as others in our society that you can work with us. And I'm happy that your director of capacity building is also here, and he looks like a very competent person who can work with our team to build capacity of our people. The second area has to do with empowerment. And in the last conference, we propounded the doctrine of Bayelsa content within the larger framework of Nigerian local content. We also said that within that larger content, there should also be Bayelsa content. I think that the federal government has actually started very well in the implementation of what we call the Bayelsa content, by your appointment. This is the first step in achieving Bayelsa content. So I want to appreciate you all for that, but we need to do more. The essentials of our doctrine of Bayelsa content entails empowerment of our people, the contractors, the business class. We want at the end of every year to be in a position to evaluate how many local content jobs in the oil and gas sector are in fact undertaken by Bayelsans. We want to know the wealth that comes to us on account of the industry that started from here. Because part of our problem, as you know very well, is our insufficient involvement in the oil and gas industry, which started here. And we want to get more involved. We want inclusivity. So we want to be in a position to evaluate. And that's one of the reasons that informed the appointment of a special desk on local content development. And the gentleman is here. He will work closely with you and your team so that on a month-by-month basis, on a quarter-by-quarter basis, on a project-by-project basis, and at the end of every year, we want to be in a position to sit down and say, look, what have we benefited? What are our businessmen, what have they benefited from the various aspects of the oil and gas industry, upstream as well as downstream? So that is it. And then the other area has to do with stimulating the business environment. What do I mean by that? There are a lot of business activities by the nature of your job, by the nature of your of the board. You superintend over a lot of critical aspects of the oil and gas operation. And up till now, most of these activities don't take place in Yenagoa. I'm told that meetings that ought to take place here, that will impact directly on the local economy, don't actually take place here. They take place in Lagos, they take place in other cities. I know the usual talk has been, oh, there's no infrastructure, there's no airport, we're working on an airport, because of all of these. There are no places for our expatriate staff to stay, we're working on all of these. There's no helipad for them to land, we're building a wonderful helipad, probably one of the best when we finish it. There are no recreational facilities, we're building a golf course, and part of what Ernest, your predecessor, and I used to talk about was to collaborate on all these development projects, so that we can make Bayelsa and Yenagoa specifically a more congenial, a more conducive environment for most of your oil and gas operators, local as well as foreign, to stay, to live, and to do business in. So these three areas we look forward to participating, collaborating with you, i.e. training, capacity building, along the various value chains of your oil and gas industry, upstream as well as downstream. Secondly, in terms of their involvement of our business people in the contracting processes, we want to know how many of them benefit from jobs in Shell, how many of them benefit from jobs in Egypt, in all the producing companies, the major ones, and also the service contracts, how many of them get involved in. Because our experience in this state, as you yourself know very well, that's one of the reasons I said you are a square peg in a square hole, is that whereas we bear the brunt of this industry, and we've done so for over 50 years, and still counting, whereas because we bear the brunt of this industry, we're paying heavy price. Our environment is degraded, our environment is damaged, we have lost our traditional means of livelihood and all of that. We are not getting the benefits, full benefits of the fact that this industry takes place here. Most of the people who work in the rigs and other facilities don't even pay tax to the state, which is the basic show of responsibility, corporate responsibility. That's the first sign. We don't even have that. Most of them come and their taxes are computed and paid elsewhere. All of this has got to change. And being the regulator in this area, we expect that you will work with us to see that they have more presence here, and that our people get the full benefits of this. We don't hope to displace them. We don't hope to be in a position to displace people overnight. But we are enjoined even by the Bible to love our neighbors as ourselves, not more. So this is one area that the doctrine, our policy of Bayelsa local content will focus on. We know, having you there and with your hardworking and dedicated and committed members of your team, will be able to make a difference. I want to thank you for finding time to come within such a very short period since assuming office. Let me assure you of the readiness and preparedness of your government to always work with you and encourage you and members of your team. You talked about some areas of attention some certain issues that we need to attend to, like the CFO and the encroachment on your headquarters building. These are issues that my team will get in touch with you to sort out. We are interested in seeing that you complete your headquarters building within schedule so that you can have a full complement of staff and activities here. I'm also aware of the industry that you are building, the pipeline mill at Polako at an appropriate time. I also intend that we visit there on the company to go around some of these places and to also be part of what you are doing. But all in all, be assured of the preparedness of the government of your state, government of this state, to collaborate and support you in any area our support is requested. I thank you for coming, and once again, congratulations. God bless us all.
A large component of the industrialization of our country, Nigeria. And since the past 5 years, I think we have done a lot, more than any other government parastatal, under the able leadership of the past pioneer Executive Secretary, Ernest Nwakwa, to increase capacity in all levels in the oil and gas industry. What our goal is that this will be a pilot project in the Nigerian context, where other parastatals, seeing the success of the oil and gas industry in terms of capacity building, will emulate, and we will therefore be able to develop further in all the parastatals of the country.
Okay, in Bayelsa State, we have issues concerning oil companies. They don't have headquarters here. In case of spill, manpower development, employment, they have to go to Lagos, Abuja, and other places to apply. But then when issues come up, we don't even, as journalists, we don't know where to go to. And oftentimes when we file our report, it appears the reports are not complete because we never got to hear from them. So, talking about Bayelsa content, how can this 60% local content be implemented to reduce the plight of the people in terms of unemployment?
Well, unemployment, the Bayelsa content is good. And everywhere we have zonal offices, not only in Bayelsa State, we have zonal offices in other areas, in Edo, in Cross River, in Warri, in Delta State, okay? And wherever we find ourselves as the board, we have tried to adapt the local contents and to impact on the catchment area. From our employment, we have about 214 staff. A quarter of those are from Bayelsa State. And we have continued to do all we can to increase even the training and capacity of Bayelsa artisans. We have a new building coming up, a new headquarters building. It's been built in Bayelsa State. Fortunately, the main contractor is also from this area. We have mandated him to use a lot of the local contractors, and that is part of his local contents plan. So apart from having a local contents plan for the oil and gas operatives, we also, in our own local and basic infrastructural development, require the contractors or operatives to have a local government plan to involve the catchment area. So in this case, I think Bayelsa State will benefit quite a bit from this. This is where we have the headquarters. We have a lot of our people, we're renting here for one. We have people also working with us. We have our staff being housed here with all the benefits that come with it. And I think this is a good thing for Bayelsa. Although it is not enough, we will continue to tweak at it and improve upon it to make sure that we have the best capabilities from it.
Finally, how can the NCDM be?
We look at them as partners, but also we know that we as the regulators will do all we can within the ambience of the law to make sure that the mandates are adhered to.
Yes, sir. As a summary, what was the thrust of discussion between the government and the board from this meeting today?
Well, the crux of the matter was that the government of Bayelsa State had always supported the board as the host state, and we will continue to have their support and cooperation, and we in turn will do all we can to make sure that we do not betray that trust.
All right, sir. At Polako will kick off.
Well, that was discussed today. The mill project at Polako will kick off as soon as possible. You know, I have just come in. I'm going to take a look at what is on the ground, but I can assure you that in the earliest possible time, we will kick off.